classic stuff.
Classic stuff. Welcome to the Three Dingoes 2019 version. Please, mate, this is Anthony Walsh and Roscoe's mobile pod.
This is taken.
Where are you, Roscoe?
I'm driving through East Burwood at the moment. The opulent East.
You're inside the bubble.
Inside the bubble. Walsh, you look quite special in that hat and scarf, like one of those special mates that you take along.
How about now?
This is my little friend Tony. Tony and Tony.
Oh.
Is that a bit too burqa? We can't burqa in here.
He's not burqa. We're inside. We're inside the first minute. I think we just Islamophobe already. Crikey.
Yeah, I think we could be in trouble there, Tony Walsh.
I don't want to go too berserk here with the...
It's all right, because you're outside the bubble.
Yeah.
That's debatable. So Berlin, is that... we shouldn't make it too location-centric. So this is the new studio. We've still got the dark side of the moon. I like this angle, actually. It's not a baddie. We tried to go YouTube live, and it's still in testing.
Oh, okay.
We had a crack, but I wasn't able. We were able to chat to each other on the YouTube live while I was streaming, but I was unable to add.
By the way, I just got to jump in for a second with Ross driving his car just with the window scene. It's very Sophia Coppola. You know, it's very kind of Sophia Coppola.
Sophia.
The Gilded Cage.
The Gilded Cage.
It's real kind of like, you know, that melancholy feel where you kind of like got the window scene happening, very Marie Antoinette sort of stuff, you know.
Introspective.
Very introspective. It's a Friday afternoon. We got April 4th.
Start before round 3. So as you might see, we don't generally wear this kind of clobber. So this is an homage, if I pronounce that correctly, to AFL round 3. We're about 40 minutes until first bounce, not kick-off. And it's all happening in the world of football.
It certainly is.
What have you noticed?
And how yeah, by the way, some big ins and outs. Carlton Swans, Carlton Marchbank. Boom. Casbolt.
Caleb's in.
Shebang and O'Brien, LOB. I was going to think of some other kind of like a Batman reference, but I just couldn't think of any shebangy kind of like kapow. Boom, LOB. Boom. The bolt, the lightning bolt.
So we've been talking about what we're going to do with the pod for 2019. And Mikey's come up with some great suggestions around Supercoach. Wayne Carey review. What do you mean by Wayne Carey review?
So we pick his tips from what he did, pick tips the week before, how much by, what the odds were and what he thought, and see just how wrong this guy is, or how right. Are you a glass half full or a glass half empty kind of guy? I'm going to be a glass half empty and say Wayne's World, okay? Because I've actually listened to him back a couple of times just to see if the big tips that can actually come up with the goods. He just goes with whatever, kind of like the momentum, like whoever's on the ladder and, you know, the odds and stuff like that. I very rarely hear them say, boom, I've got a special tip for you. Him and there's the other guy, the former Hawthorn.
Campbell Brown.
Campbell Brown.
I see Campbell Brown's 3 tips ahead this week, and they're 3 tips apart at least. So it could extend his lead, or you could prove you right there, mate. Okay, injuries.
I'm a big rap for Wayne's World, by the way. The Duck, King Carey. I like him. He's a good guy. I like the way he goes about it. The only reason I'm saying why we should evaluate him is because is it worth following a tipster's tips? Do you know what I mean? Like the professionals' tips. Now, if they're not getting it, you know, ooh.
Are you saying perhaps he could become the new kiss of death that the late Lou Richards has left and created a vacuum?
Well, now that you mention it, let's just query that and say that could be something that could come up. We could have a new kiss of death.
The duck of death.
The duck. Duck.
That's actually from the movie The Unforgiven, the Duke of Death, but they don't know how to read, so they call it the Duck of Death. And Gene Hackman, and then he corrects him and says Duke. There's actually a scene.
That's
really?
Clint Eastwood. He directed
the Duck of Death.
Didn't he?
Was that Gene Hackman? Did you say?
Yeah. Yep.
He
The
plays
French Connection.
No, he was in that. Popeye. What was his name? Popeye something.
Did he get his spinach?
Popeye Doyle. I think.
The Duck of Death. That's it. What's that quote? To kill a man, you take away everything he's got and everything he will have. I think I butchered the quote.
Yeah, all he's got, all he's ever going to have. Yeah.
That's a good line. That
It's a hell of a thing, killing a man, take away all he's got, all he's ever going to have.
That's after the young.
Go ahead. Make my day. It reminds me of Tony Walsh once saying, Avita say baby, instead of hasta la vista.
And you reminded me about that for about 2 years. Every time I left you said Avita Zane, and until we meet again, or whatever the hell it was. And I really did try to give it the Arnold Schwarzenegger instead of hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista, baby. But it was Avita say baby.
That was really bold of you there, Walshy.
Hey, how come your camera, Ross, is kind of like 3/4? How come we got black side, like it's got black edges?
He's vertical.
I can't see much. Yeah, I'm vertical. I'm not horizontal.
Can mix it up. You're gonna go for that Sophia Coppola kind of like Lost in Translation. Gonna go for you need some subtitles on the side, do you?
I could be. Lost in direction at the moment. I don't know where I am.
So you'd be en route, as we were talking earlier, en route to home, I guess.
Yes, via a pickup right now.
Uncle Dan's
school.
Oh.
No, I've got a parental duty.
Cotomo duties. Okay, well, so Wayne Carey review. I like it. Injuries. We can do that every week. That's pretty self-explanatory. Politics and football. Taylor Harris. Oh, that's the lady. That was didn't she win the Brownlow, the AFL Women's Brownlow?
No, she won Mark of the Year, and she did a kick that got trolled by social media.
It was a beautiful kick too. It looked like it was actually looked like the perfect kick as far as the aesthetics of kicking goes, with how correct her legs were, and it was just the fact that she was a woman that trolls got onto social media and made sexual derogatory comments about her anatomy. I think I didn't actually see the comments. I only saw the.
Me neither.
The reaction to it.
She had like her back foot flicked up. Have you noticed that?
Oh, she roosted it. She roosted it from 45 or something. It was a monster goal.
Yeah. Sort of. I just noticed the interaction with a follow through and the back. There's a flick up the back. It was quite interesting, and then she keeps doing it. It's like it should be a bit of a trademark. Anyway.
Well, that image. Someone started selling T-shirts of that image, and the AFL stopped them, and because she's going to actually use it, so she's trademarked the image of that kick already. So expect brand Taylor Harris to start rolling out.
Wow! So it's actually doing her a favour. The trolls are going to make.
Yeah,
the same with JP. JP says every time he gets into it, his trolls get him more popular. Back in the day, anyway. I don't know how it's going nowadays. It's kind of a bit more. He said it on Joe Rogan. How to monetize the radical left.
Okay.
Jordan Peterson, you'd be a good guest on our show. He's most welcome to come on. Jordan Peterson talking AFL footy, talking about why it was so important for groups of people to come together. You know what I mean? Like where the football came in, where the football psychology of it came in, and why people love their footy so much. I'm sure Jordan Peterson would be able to give us a good explanation of where it all started and why it's so important and what the social structures.
What we find is that Adam found the Sharon and went long to Eve, and Snake came from over the top and took a hanger, and there was man's descent into the realm.
He was out of bounds. Harms was out of bounds.
And he said it wasn't me, it was her.
Yeah. Harmsy's blamed Eve.
Wasn't me.
The Collingwood Army said you're out of Eden.
Joffa.
Joffa. The old Joff. He's a legend. He's welcome as well. Joffa's welcome. He can talk about the social fabric of football as well.
And we can really help their profiles. Come to the Dingoes. Anyway.
So what else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about Supercoach.
I have Supercoach Wayne Carey review injuries, politics of football next week. AFL literacy, learn the language, rules and momentum shifts. Outside the club rooms, inside the AFL. What do you mean by that?
Okay, I just want to go back to the literacy, AFL literacy. If you said to somebody that doesn't know football, if you said get front and square in the corridor, make sure you don't hang out, no jibs, a lot of those terminologies people might not be fully up to date with. Like, okay.
So the vernacular of footy.
And let me tell you, it's a complete language of its own, and it's always evolving. So now, every year there's new vernacular, like the 666 has come out this year.
Yep.
And within the 666, there's going to be defensive zones. So you're going to find each week, there's going to be new, 666, top six, bottom six. There'll be new vernacular. And I just want to call it now, the forward line will be called the top six, and the back line will be called the back six. They're not going to call
the back six has already been around for a while, big fella.
Really? Well, then let's just cut it down. I haven't heard it, but okay, so it'll be B6 or something like that. It'll be
B6.
F6, C6. There'll be some new six kind of vocabulary.
F6, C6, B6, and B6 is related to bananas in pajamas. Second cousins twice removed. You don't get the reference. B1, B2. Anyway,
well, don't they wear Geelong? Don't they wear? Is that Geelong or North Melbourne colours that they wear? Bananas in pajamas. I think they're North.
North Melbourne.
Yeah, I tell you what.
Get them on the footy outside the bubble.
Outside the bubble, and is it Brad Scott? Or is it Brad Scott? Or wait, which one are you again? Which Scotty are you again?
B1, B2. All right. So it looks like.
So anyway, the vernacular is definitely changing from year to year, and it's going to actually extend a lot with the rule changes.
Yep.
Others you calling the. Say that again?
Are you calling the, let's say, B6, C6, F6? Any other prognostications from you?
Oh, the prognosticators at work. Okay, there's going to be a new language for calling zones, for calling times, because they're putting signs up, yellow time.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going to have lightning time, yellow time, green time. There'll be new sort of code language where teams will start yelling out, to slow it down, it's red time, for example, you know what I mean? Or if it's, the last 5 minutes of the quarter because they don't have a runner. So you're going to find that there's going to be a lot more coded type language within footy, and it's going to become more about like, you know, where to set up, how to set up. And also like in soccer, they say like, you know, 4-3, you know, like they have that sort of setup, you know, where people are positioned, you know, like, so you might have, that sort of language. Well, footy's going to probably adapt that sort of language as we move into having zones, like B6, let's go 2-2-2, or B6 3-2-1, or, you know, like that sort of stuff, you know, or they're gonna start using a different type of language for flanks. Flanks might be used a little bit more. Wingers, you know, we could have new terms for wingers, like you play on the wing.
I think you're going. That's a bit of a stretch, mate.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. That's footy. It's going to stretch. That's why the language is always evolving. Yeah. It's always stretching.
And you heard it first on the Three Dingoes. I've got a live breaking shot of Adelaide Oval. This is live Adelaide Oval on the wing. Not bad seats is the call from the nephew. Adelaide Oval. Isn't it a magnificent stadium?
Oh, yeah. Seriously, it's literally like a church.
It is a bit like a church because you've got see the scoreboard. That's up over to the right of screen there, or left of screen, whatever it is for you, near where it says.
Yeah.
I think that's the old score. No, that's the new scoreboard. No, you can't see it. Yeah, so to the left of screen, or to my left, they've got the old hill and the old scoreboard, and I think that was magnificent that they were able to keep that heritage. I mean, this is a state-of-the-art stadium with gum trees behind the goals.
Mate, it's the city of churches. It really is. Like the MCG is the Mecca. Adelaide Oval is holy ground. Look at it. Good
on them. So that's so tonight's game is Adelaide, as you might have guessed, versus Geelong. So we've got looks like we've got 15 minutes till first bounce. Do we want to have a bit of a chat about this game before we sign off, or you want to talk about something else there, Walshy?
Now, just on that, Geelong have won 2 games.
Yep.
And they've got a bit of a new look forward line with the little master running forward. Rowan is lightning quick.
He is. So is Dalhouse. I nearly bought Dalhouse on Supercoach. He's averaging like...
Would have been worth it.
105.
Tim Kelly at 500 might have been a good option as well.
Who?
Tim Kelly.
Actually, I picked up Kelly. Now you mention it. Nice call there. That's a good segue. I bought Tim Kelly. I pulled the trigger. I've done it again. I've gone with an early round 3 trade, which is often my downfall. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I got rid of Heaney. I don't think I'm betting that Heaney is in a bit of trouble. And what I'm doing is it really what it is a vote of no confidence in the Swans for the whole year. I don't think Heaney, I mean, they might stick Heaney in the middle, but why isn't he already in the middle? Is anyone out from the Swans? I should have bloody checked that before I did the trade. Let's have a look at the injuries.
Well, Heaney, Meany, Mo. He's a very good player. Very, very good player. But the problem is he's only playing forward.
He's playing forward. That's what I'm worried about. If they keep playing him forward, he's never going to bounce back to the. We need way over the ton. So he's going to lose about 30 grand this round. And if he just keeps averaging 70s and 80s, we're in trouble. He's a prime. Yeah. You know, he's a lot like Travis Boak, that's another player I nearly picked up. I nearly picked up Travis Boak, but I'm worried about Ollie Wines. Ollie Wines got to come into that side. They might put Travis Boak in a forward position. He'll go back down to 70s and 80s. It's an absolute bomb trade. So I thought I could go with Dalhouse, but he is a forward. Or I could go with Tim Kelly. And Tim Kelly is a bona fide, up the guts, in the centre. He's getting a lot of centre clearances. He's an inside mid. So I thought, I'm going with the inside mid. He's not averaging as much as Boak is right now, but I thought, why not? The other trade I was looking at was Taranto. I was going to sell him, crazy, and put in bloody Rockcliffe, Tom Rockcliffe. Because he's gone through the roof. He's like averaging 130 or something. But again, bring in Ollie Wines. One of those two is going to lose. Because Ollie Wines is their bull, you know. Rockcliffe's, you know, it's a risky trade. I thought Tim Kelly, safe. I just want a safe bet. How about you, Walsh?
Yeah.
Did you make any trades or did you flirt with any?
Well, Lysett came in. I had the big ruckman, the big Sauce Jacobs. I had to get rid of him because he's injured. He's got a groin. It might be only 1 week, but I just couldn't risk it. He's just not that good in Lysett. Looks like he's ready for a big season. So I just went with Lysett. He's going to have a good run in the ruck. Yeah. He's talking about Port Adelaide as well. They look like they're going to be better than what I first thought.
Yeah.
I didn't think that they were so good. Last week, mind you, the Carlton-Port Adelaide game, they kicked 5 goals from free kicks.
Yeah, right. That's a lot, isn't it?
That's quite a lot. And look, I'm not saying the umpires changed the game, but, you know, a team like Carlton are giving away soft free kicks. Oh, by the way, I barrack for Carlton if you didn't realise that. And and the other thing is that Sam Walsh kicks, gets a free kick, and then Paulson plays on and hits the post, and the umpire called advantage when it was just about to hit the post. So that's kind of there wasn't an advantage.
I reckon that should come back. They do that in other games. In rugby, they used to do it all the time. I think they still do it. They play advantage, and then if they lose that advantage, it's like, okay, come back.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Knock on. Yeah, these AFL really, I have to say it, the league, great that they've made these new rules, but the advantage rule needs to be looked at. And I'd say they're a little bit, I think, not naive. What's the right word? Unsophisticated when it comes to rule changes. I had this conversation with Matty James, 200 Club. He umpired a few grand finals and a lot of semi-finals. He used to be the umpires manager when I was at AFL Cairns, and I used to say to him, why do they blow the whistle when they're going to play advantage? Because I get trained. Don't players get trained to play to the whistle? Don't you? You hear the whistle, generally stop. AFL, again, is a fluid game. And he was adamant. He was like, nah, because you need to blow the whistle to make sure that the person knows there was a free kick. Because if he just calls play on, then they might get shitty because they didn't get the free kick. And I'm like, really? Is there that much ego that a player is going to not move on because he didn't get a free? Like, really? Are they going to, really? And, they tend to do this. Like, if I'm like, where's the free? The first bloke I'm looking for is the umpire. And if I see the umpire doing this, I know it's advantage.
Yeah.
So that was that was the limited conversation where we could talk about perhaps not blowing the whistle. And so, I think that's systemic because Matty James is quite he was actually consulted on that ruling in 2018 grand final. That one. He actually got asked a question saw him in Fox, I think it was. So,
Roscoe is back.
Roscoe's back, and he's in incognito. He's like the guy who walks.
I'm heading down the Eastern Freeway.
Eastern Freeway. Roscoe, good to have you back, mate. Oh, you're in the bubble, but the game tonight is in Adelaide. So we've got 9 minutes until the game starts. And you want anything we've been talking about, ins and outs, and Supercoach trades. Did you make any Supercoach trades? We did.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, we all did. We all did. 1 or 2.
He's turned into Batman. Look at that Batman in here. He's gone from Sophia Coppola. It's gone all dark. He's turned Batman on us. Look,
What trades did you make?
I got Bailey Scott in.
Bailey Scott, the rookie, had a quiet week last week, but I was very, very stoked to draft him. So you reckon he's bloody good rookie? And who got axed from the midfield? I presume.
Just another rookie who has. I had 2 Freo rookies, and I can't remember.
Really?
I got rid of one of them.
I did see you had one that I had no idea who it was. So I don't know.
Yeah, what I did was because I did it quick initially, and so I did a bit of a lucky dip on some of the rookies without enough. There was a bit of folly, but I believe Bailey Scott will. I think he had a poor game last week, but I think that will.
A lot of us did. The one you drafted, with the Freo you drafted, was he on that cheat sheet, the Harold Sun cheat sheet?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So you might have done a bit of a lucky dip. Did you? So we've all done one. So you just did.
I didn't. No, I didn't do the cheat sheet. I just went and put together.
You didn't get the cheat sheet.
No, I ended up. Is that the one where it chooses your team for you?
No. There was the one that. Remember, I said this is the Bible. This is what I've been using for the last 2 years. And I said every single name on that cheat sheet is in my team. Remember that?
Yes.
The day before, yeah.
No, I didn't use that.
You didn't even...
I thought it was. I must have been confused. I thought it was the one where they choose the team.
Oh, bugger that. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So just the one trade for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all done one trade. So it was Source Jacobs out for Lysette for Walshy, and I traded out Heaney, and I brought in Tim Kelly. So that's our super coach. We've got 7
minutes. Just on that tone, so you thought about bringing Dalhouse in, but you didn't. So you have Tim Kelly. What about Hawkins, Ablett, or any of the other Holy Trinity?
Because he won't play many games. Hawkins, I don't like tall forwards, mate. I do not like picking tall forwards unless they're really underpriced. Because they'll have 150 games and then they'll also have the quiet 50s, because sometimes they just get, double, triple teams, especially someone like Hawk. He's one of the dudes that they're going to really, really concentrate on, and they like to double team him because he's so good one out. So, but he does.
And if you think about their currency, they might get 7 kicks and kick 4 goals, and they've won the match, but they're not going to score.
That's it.
So,
I
think that doesn't necessarily translate to Supercoach currency.
Lance,
I just want to make a comment. And that is that Ross doesn't barrack for Melbourne, even though he's got a red head at the moment, like a demon. Yeah. Look at you. You look like a demon in there. What's going on?
Demon in the bubble. He's a quiet.
You can't see your face, can you?
Oh, he's gone mute. Oh, don't go mute because you don't come up on the screen. Oh, well, we'll miss that.
He's gone.
All right, so he's gone. He's muted. Did I mute you? No, I didn't mute you, did I? How do I unmute you? Oh, well, maybe you want. No, maybe you know what you're doing.
I just want to say this. The Lions have won 2 in a row, which is interesting. Dukes has got 2 in a row, and unfortunately, my Blues are looking for the first win of the first win of the year.
It could be this week.
It could be this week. I reckon we're a good chance. Oh.
So here's the tips. Here's the odds and the tips, but gamble responsibly. And just for the record, I'm against football shows showing odds. So kids, don't get into it, mate. But yeah, I just wanted to draw your attention to Brisbane Lions, $1.61, raging favourites against Port Adelaide at $2.39. When was the last time that happened?
Wow.
Ding dong. I've tipped the Lions, Roscoe. I'm tempted to switch it over there, I must admit. But I've gone all the homes, but I think you're a chance, but it's a risky tip. It's a risky.
I got to tell you, I think this is a good week for roughies because I think Essendon. Yeah, I reckon Essendon will actually. They're a good chance against Melbourne. I think Carlton are a good chance against the Swans, and I think that Richmond are a very good chance against GWS. Port are a good chance against Adelaide, and West Coast. They beat Collingwood in last year's grand final. Gold Coast, I think Western Bulldogs were pretty lucky last week. They got a few soft frees and got 9 goals in the last quarter. And North Melbourne are a very good chance to beat Hawthorn. So this could be a really good week to have a few bets on some outsiders.
What's your rationale, Hawthorn, North Melbourne?
North Melbourne's got a good. They've still got big, Ben Brown. Hawthorn has got a lot of injuries. They lost 2 players on the weekend. Burgoyne's out. They don't have that silky smooth him with the. There's a couple of big outs for Hawthorn.
Liam Shields and Sean Burgoyne out for Hawthorn.
Yeah. So go for those. There's a lot of experience getting lost there.
They do have
they're running around
as an in, but he's in the squad. It's a Sunday game, so we're not sure.
So he's a bit underdone, and I tell you what, they're running around with a bloke with an ankle that they got the bloke from GWS with the 4th round.
Right, Tom Scully.
Scully, they've got Scully, so I don't know. They're running around with it.
Did Scully play last week?
He played last week, and he played more minutes than what they were expecting. So he might not have pulled up that well. You've got a few underdone blokes, and I tell you what, North Melbourne, they'll be chewing at the bit because I don't know if they've actually won a game yet.
North Melbourne beat Hawthorn on the 22nd of April last year by 28 points. That's quite a convincing win, 98-70. So there's some merit there. Geez, I'm close to. Whoa, you've nearly got me there, mate. I've actually tipped a tip. I've swapped my tip. Because
I tell you what.
Because remember, Hawthorn finished 4th or something.
Yeah, look, Hawthorn are. Hawthorn, I think they've been they're underpriced there, and also I think Fremantle as well, just going under there. I think St Kilda are a good chance as well against Fremantle. They've won 2 games, haven't they? Yeah. So
Freo's won 1, I think.
They won 1, and look, they've got a good forward line, but a tall forward line, mind you. But that's an interesting one. I think the Saints could, that's the sort of thing in footy. You'll have a team like St Kilda that nobody picked to do anything, and they'll turn around and have 6 or 7 wins, and be well inside the, chances of making the finals. And anything can happen in footy.
Anything can happen. The old, just looking here, Scott Thompson, McMillan, Majak Daw scored well. Stratton, Gunston, Bruce. Not many people in the guts there. So, that's disposal efficiency. My apologies. Tarrant.
Yeah, I don't think Majak's going to be playing. I think he's training, but I don't think he'll be out there.
I don't think he'll be out there either. Tarrant.
Yeah, I think he's burnt too many bridges.
Yes. Well, boys. On that note, I think it's first bounce Geelong, Adelaide. So I love you, but I think I've got to exit. I could leave it running for you if you want. I'll just I'll stop sharing.
Sweet, mate. We'll get back to you later. And Roscoe, who are you picking? Lions versus Adelaide.
Lions versus Port Adelaide.
Versus Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
Oh, tonight you're talking about?
No. Tonight's Geelong, Adelaide.
Yeah. Geelong will win tonight in a canter.
A canter. How many points?
Yeah.
Actually, I think Adelaide...
28 points.
28 points. What about you, Walshy?
If I said Adelaide, I'd be balancing it up. But I do think Geelong are pretty good this year.
How many points?
Yeah.
Win? Margin.
Can I say 3 points?
3 points.
Don't put money on that.
A thriller. I'm
I'm
picking
going to say it's going to be a cliffhanger.
I'm picking 18. I always do. Oh, I pick 18 just because it's a good balance. If they thrash him, and not too bad. If it's close, it's not too bad. But yeah, no, I really don't know. Anything could happen tonight. Okay, so Lions, Port Adelaide, Roscoe.
Oh, I think that we will. I think we will beat Port Adelaide. I think it's so. It's because it's my. If I wasn't a Lions supporter, I would be a bit more confident.
A bit more confident.
I think we beat Port.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. I think based on form, like they've won 2 games, we've won 2. It's up at the Gabba. I reckon we will beat them. I'm confident of taking them down, but I thought that before with Port, and they've given us a shellacking. But we've also got a hold of them at times, so it's always a good game, Brisbane Lions and Port, even before the final.
Did you play twice? Did you play twice last year?
I think we did. We nearly beat them in Adelaide last year when our form wasn't that great. We got a hold of them and probably should have won. But again, it was one of those close games where we didn't know how to win.
Round 3, April 7, 5 points, 97-92.
Yeah, that was it. That was the game. We could have beaten them.
You can't remember that.
That's the game that Cam Reina missed the shot at goal at the end.
Who did? Reina?
He had a shot on the run to ice it. It might have been that game.
He looks like.
Did you know that he played? I saw that he played in the Essendon District League, Cam Reina, that when he was under 16s, and he played in an under 16s grand final, and then straight after played in an under 18s grand final.
Oh,
really?
Stuff of legend.
He's an impressive physical specimen. Like last week, being live at Marvel Stadium, I'm still getting used to saying Marvel. Watching him run out, and he's only 19 years of age, but he's already got a man's body, real definition. Yeah. So I think that he'll have an impressive sort of dusty sort of
physique,
Lee Matthews behemoth physique when he's a bit older and a few pre-seasons under his belt.
How old is he?
He's already got the man-child, 19.
19. We're in the last minute, lads. So thanks for joining us. It was a ripper. It was a ripper start to 2019. If you're keen, we might do a half time.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. And Cripper was on the footy show last night. It was quite entertaining.
Who?
Cripper.
Go the Blues.
Patrick Cripps.
The Baggers. Yes.
I love his balance, mate. I love his balance. He really can sort of stand up in the tackle, shrug off, bring in Fisher.
You had great balance, Tony Walsh. You had great balance. Either foot.
I was a balanced guy. I was actually a Libran, so that's where that comes from.
You're a Libran?
Yeah. Feline. Cat-like.
Go the Blues. Go the Cats tonight, mate. Good luck, Dukesy. Playing on, can we call it the hallowed turf? I don't know. What do we call Adelaide Oval? City of Churches.
I love it.
And bizarre sexual killings.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. City of Churches and bizarre sexual murders.
That's Adelaide. My view of Adelaide.
Oh, yeah. It's always linked, the deep religious belief and bizarre ritual murders of sexual nature. Sorry, that's talking about footy and not. Sorry, Walsh, you're giggling.
What a climax!
Stop giggling, Tony.
Half time, fellas. Half time.
I feel a bit dirty.
Yes.
I feel like I just been in the party room for half an hour.
You're looking a little bit like Buffalo Bill as well. From what's that movie? Silence of the Lambs.
Would
you fuck me?
Oh.